Hey there, we are enjoying playing with each other, talking, and we get really deep. And so, you know, you can watch these more than once. You can watch these as many times as you need to.
Yeah.
And how do you unplug? That's what we're going to be talking about, unplug from work. So you have more time for sex, more time to play, more time to relax, more time for your kids, more time for yourself. And that's a huge thing. I'm getting ready to teach a Kwadoshka workshop in September, the spiritual sexuality. And one of the things that most people share is they don't have time to make love the way they would like to. So I'm just going to throw all of that out. And it's how do you unplug from work? How do you unplug?
I just unplug to just be you and be still and like recharge and get your mojo.
I think this is a great subject. You know, ever since the whole pandemic started, there's been a huge shift in where people do their business.
Oh, yeah.
And one of those shifts is most people do it from home. Most people either they're calling from home, or they're on their computer, or they're on some version of a home office. And this can be very great in some aspects. You don't have to travel to work as much. You know, you don't have to all that stuff. However, there's now a space in your home called work. And unless there's a clear boundary between where that space is and where the rest of your life is, it's like a magnet can pull you right out of, you know, being with the kids, pull you right out of being, you know, watching that movie or being in a relaxed state. And, you know, I think because we're not used to it, we don't create such a boundary. We're just thinking, oh, just work from home, it'll be easy. But really, it's what I'm noticing is it's so critical. For me, there just needs to be a time when maybe there's even a room that you work in. For me, it's like there needs to be a time when that door needs to be shut. And we're just going to say, from this point on, we're no longer talking about work. We're no longer in work mode. And we're back to our normal life in this house, you know. And that can be sometimes a little harder for some people and easier for others.
Be honest, what happened today? We were like, how do we?
Yes.
How do we speak these truths with grace?
Yes.
With grace.
How do you unplug? How do you unplug gracefully? Because you could just skip coming home and decide to stop at the bar and just not come home and not tell everybody that you're not coming home and just, you know, dip.
That quiet time in between, the transition.
Now that's important. Anyone who works out of the home.
Yeah.
You've got to give them time to transition. And we put the keys one place, we'll put our purse another place. You know, maybe we want to go change clothes. And if the minute we walk in the door, we are kind of getting slammed, it's not going to be a good result for the partner who's at home. So women don't need as much time to transition as men do because we do multitasking, but we still need. So some 20 minutes usually for a woman, somewhere between 20 minutes for a man. It could be half hour to an hour.
That's what I'm saying.
Or the rest of the night. So my husband and I had. Because I've worked out of the home most of the time, and I have an office, and you know, for doing counseling and workshops, and so I take time off during the day. I might take a 2-hour break during the day because that's when I need my break, and then I end up working later at night. And so there was a number of times throughout our 19 years and we're still together, and he simply would say, "I don't have my wife. Where's my wife? Like, you work, you know." And he said, can 9 o'clock be, you know, where there's no more work? And it wasn't even that we were talking about work. I was just working. You know, it's quiet at nighttime. I can do my writing or whatever. So we had to have a couple of heart-to-heart talks a number of times of when are you going to unplug? When are you no longer at work?
And I have sort of the complete opposite, where I spend all my time at work. I'm not stuck at home. But it's like, how do I stop working? To get home?
Yes. How do I not book a client?
Yes, like how do I say no? How do I unplug from work? Like how do I stop? I have a problem of stopping working to even be home.
Boundary where you don't you don't book a client.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so hard.
So I've been practicing that I don't begin booking clients until 10 o'clock. And I'll be up at 6 o'clock, 5:30 or 6, and I might be guided. I'll be working on my autobiography, for maybe an hour to 2 hours, and then I might go sit out in the front yard. That's like my time. I can do whatever I please in that time or wherever I'm being nudged or guided, And 10 o'clock is when, but over this last week, getting ready for the workshops, and then for, being gone and having to pack for 2 events, I have been cutting into my time by doing an 8 o'clock Zoom meeting this morning and other things. And so when I catch myself, because what happens? I'm not a nice person when I don't have unplugging, and it's a routine, it's a pattern.
So difficult. One in real life thing I have started playing with. This seems to be helping me because although, yes, you are controlling yourself, which is just so funny because you're the one biting your own tail.
Right.
Yeah.
Every day for every minute in life. But you have to trick yourself sometimes. We have to play games until you realize you're the one biting your own tail.
So what's the game you're playing?
You have to, the game I'm playing, well, the new game that I'm playing is like, before I wouldn't necessarily dress for like, what if I were going to go out after? Or if I had something to do? Or I was actually off early. If I wasn't going to work till 10 o'clock at night. Because if I'm working, 12, 16-hour day, I'm going to murder any outfit with a pair of Crocs. Like, murder my outfit with a pair of Crocs.
Yeah.
But what I've started to do is put on shoes that like have a 6 to 8 hour max.
Yeah.
Also.
Perfect.
That like, we gotta get out of here. We
Okay, it's time to go.
Otherwise, like, you show up with Crocs and then somebody asks you to go out and it's like, I can't.
Yeah, you can't do it.
I can't. Or even preparing. I guess even making the bag, like I'm much better when I like prepare a bag so that anything can happen tonight, anything can do this, but when I have that excitement, that anticipation, and one more person tries to get in that day, I'm like, I can't. I'm like, oh, I wish I could, but I had stuff to do. And like, I'm literally like, I'm tricking myself.
It is so vitally important for people who work for themselves.
It's so funny that I can't just say no, that I have to actually like play this game, but it's working. I mean, and I see it, and I'm actually having super fun with the game because like I do realize it's a game. I do realize I am in control, but I have to dress the part of taking control.
That's right.
As my expression,
That's right.
like my expression needs to be that I can see. Hey, remember? We're taking control.
Yes.
Absolutely. Dressing the part.
That's helping.
That is very important. These
Like
are just
what I want to
costumes.
be, who I'm wanting to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I have to like be, I realize that I have to be that person.
That's
Right. You have to show up
Like
as that person.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People forget that our clothes are costumes.
Yes.
If you're going to go to a court, you're going to dress differently than if you're going to go to a country western bar. These are just costumes.
Right.
So people get stuck thinking this is what I wear, and I wear this anywhere and everywhere. How boring.
Yes,
I mean, let's put some color on. Let's mix this up, because who am I? I'm not just one expression.
Yes.
I am all of these things. So that's loving yourself. When you trick yourself, it's loving yourself. So when I said I don't start work before 10, and I have a half hour in between clients, a half hour to an hour in between, because then I'll be peaceful and I'll be calm and I'm taking care of myself. And what do I do in that hour? Sometimes I'll eat a meal. Sometimes I'll watch, Gunsmoke. Just something that the brain can download. We have to, it's our life every day. We only have today. Tomorrow we could get here.
And remembering that your thoughts literally manifest absolutely everything you have.
Totally.
Right.
Like your thoughts are the thing that is creating what you have in your life. And we're always living in duality. So we have the thoughts, which are creation, and then we have your physical form. So the thoughts have to turn into a physical form. Like, I am thought that has been turned into a physical form. So that is what we have to do. And so when we have the thoughts of having time and like those things, like it's manifesting, it has to then manifest in physical form, and like merging those two together is
well, the first step in
where it's at.
The first step in the physical form is the emotional response to those thoughts. Is the emotional expression.
It gets the energy flowing. It gets the energy flowing. So going to work and being ready today. You gotta. This is the vibration. Get on that vibration. Right. It is.
So it's being present. It's being here now. It's being today. And that's actually what we're going to invite our audience to do. Everything that we are sharing, it's something that you can do. You can change your life. You can just take one thought. So if you're thinking, my husband said one thing I'm going to share. If he is looking for the negative, he will find it. If he's looking for the positive, he will find it. So I'm going to leave you with that. Your thoughts are powerful. Your thoughts are powerful. And we're going to send you a big kiss, a big hug, and say, we send you our love, and thoughts are powerful. Let's just get love going around this planet. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks, guys.